You know what? Yes, I am saying brutalism is homophobic. Yeah, yes. Wait, what are you linking? Two fun videos. Am I the only one that likes train noises? Am I weird? Brutalism? Fuck brutalism! How dare you? It's like you don't even know me. Are you gonna beef about brutalism right now? It's a fun video whether you like it or not. I like architecture, I just don't like brutalism specifically. It's the only architecture style I have a beef with. It's so dead and cold. It's so impersonal and inhabitable. It is not fit for human life. It's not built for human life. It's just big, strong man concrete. That's it. Like, okay, eco-brutalism I can live with, okay? That's fine. Alexandra Road Estate. What do you mean, done right? I've never seen it. The fuck is this? Brother, please tell me you're yanking my chain. Friendship over. I'm sorry. What the fuck is this? This is Star Wars. Hey, do you know that the Empire built shit like this? What are we doing here? Cool. Why? Why? Do you literally hate natural light? Do you hate open? Do you hate actual fucking greenery? The 3-ass trees that are dying? This does not look good. Thank you, Arnalda. Yeah, you need more greenery, less fucking concrete. That's the problem. The only good part is the greenery. This is the first one, man. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, wow. More plants that are fucking dying. This looks like a fucking, like, repurposed bomb shelter. I'm sure. Copium. Copium, I'm sure. Ah. Wow. Yeah. No, you're right. This is better. It smells better. Oh, I'm literally dying. This is just dialed up in saturation. Cause this is crazy. Y'all are so wrong. Fake socialist, this is not about socialism. This is pure aesthetics, okay? It's ugly! No one likes concrete. It makes me sad. It makes me so sad. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to offend. I don't mean to. The concrete because you can paint it. You can paint walls. Are we looking at the same shit? This looks like a fucking mausoleum right here. On the bottom left? Are you kidding? What are we doing here? This looks like a fucking Holocaust memorial. I would not want to live here. Would you? Would you really? Like, be honest. Would you want to spend time here at all? Would you want to go to this in a museum? This makes me clinically depressed. And I am already clinically depressed. This is worsening my depression by the moment. I'm sorry. I attracted to it in some way by calling it a mausoleum. England, why? Why? Can't we just do train? What if just train? What if... We can all agree on trains, right? They're pretty cool. look at it just zip by. It's going so fast. Interesting enough to hold your attention. Are you saying that I hate watching Brutalism? I'm a history major. I studied it. I have to. I didn't want to. They made me, and I didn't like it. Fine, you activated my trap card, I guess. Ugliest buildings in the world? Hell yeah! Wait, maybe I'm on board. I'm back. I'm locked in.
I was 10 years old when I first rode on this boat, taking in the sights on the River Thames with my young architectural mind loving every second, when the tour guide said, "To the right, you'll see the National Theatre, the ugliest building on the Thames." King Charles went even further to say that it was a clever way
And they're right.
of being able to build a nuclear power station in the middle of London without anyone objecting.
So true.
But I was immediately drawn to it as soon as I saw it. It was old but futuristic. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. That was my introduction to brutalism. So where did all this concrete come from? And how did we get from this to this?
And how do you make the concrete stop? How do you make it stop? I feel like I'm being fucking swallowed in concrete, all right? And what we get is not brutalism, it's just garbage.
So buckle up, it's about to get brutal. Now you may think the name comes from its brutal design nature, but it in fact comes from the French term béton brut, which is French for raw concrete. It wasn't so much of an architectural movement, but more of a way of...
Yeah, it's not a fucking movement, it's fucking material. And I hate it.
...of describing the style of exposed concrete and towering forms. It became popular in the 1950s and blazed through the next 20 years as a reaction to modernism. Architects were tired of the factory-like structures that were made of glass and steel and wanted to try something new. Think of
the only thing this is good for is parkour.
Brutalism as modernism's cousin, but cooler, younger, and grumpier. With the devastation of wartime bombing and mass urban migration, brutalism was waiting in the wings. In 1955, architectural critic Rainer Banham published his article, The New Brutalism. That's a lot of words, but he basically said there are 3 ways to define a brutalist building. Memorability as an image, the ability to recognize something as a brutalist building. Clear exhibition of structure, being able to see how the building was built. Materiality as found, being able to see what the building is made of. 3 years prior to this article, Le Corbusier, often described as the father of modernism, designed the unit...
You can see brick. That's not new. You're not special. It's the bare minimum. I don't even know if it's a style at this point. I might go back and read some shit. I'm on a new deep dive. I've got 6 projects going. It's fine.
3 years prior to this article, Le Corbusier, often described as the father of modernism, designed the Unité de Habitation, a building so stark in contrast to the local architecture of Marseille that the locals described it as La Maison du Fada, or the Madhouse. Architectural historians would simply call it the first brutalist building. Architecture in the UK before World War II was incredibly ornate and usually inspired by classicism made of stone and brick. But when the war was over, a new system needed to be devised, something a little bit more brutal. Allison and Peter Smithson, inspired by Le Corbusier's concrete behemoth, brought back a new sort of stripped-back modernism, which got us buildings like this one. The 50s
Garbage building.
were a time of abstract art, jazz, and rock and roll. These movements, similarly to brutalism, were positioning themselves against the ornamentation of the 19th century, trying to find beauty.
And they're wrong. And they're wrong. Are you kidding me? Okay. This is, I think, where we diverge here. This is at the core of my problem. All right. I love Baroque. I love really fucking ornate shit. I love Art Deco, even. Things should be beautiful and they should be adorned and you should like looking at them. Why are you just gonna throw out hundreds of years of architecture because concrete? Because concrete?
Beauty in the austere. The Barbican is arguably London's most unique and ambitious brutalist project. The architects Chamberlain, Power and Bond were given a site that was nearly completely flattened in World War II, and they aimed to design a city within a city. Across London, brutalism was used as a tool to fill in the gaps where wartime bombing had occurred. This building here, the Royal College of Physicians, designed by Sir Dennis Lasry.
Yes, Gaudi. Literal, the guy, Gaudi. Like, yes.
Who also designed the National Theatre, was commissioned to do just that.
We can re-educate you, fuck you. God damn it. I have the degree. You don't know what you're talking about.
It is one of only 113 buildings completed in the 20th century that have since been Grade 1 listed.
Landmark listings like this prove that it's not only buildings like Big Ben and St Paul's Cathedral that need to be conserved. Brutalism is a movement that deserves to be remembered. Maybe the tour guide was wrong all along. Just up the road at the London Zoo stands another incredible Grade 1 listed structure. It's the Penguin Pool, designed by Bertolt Lebutkin in the 1930s. It's a retro-futurist masterpiece, and I absolutely love it. Can you believe it's 100 years old? But if we venture away from the Antarctic and head over to the elephant enclosure, you will find an underrated brutalist theatrical masterpiece. It was designed by Hugh Casson, creating a new
We're just throwing around the word masterpiece now.
iteration of zoo enclosure after the classicism of the Giraffe House and the retro-futurism of the Penguin Pool. Talk about chalk and cheese. Even though the elephants have now moved out of London Zoo, at the time of its completion...
This looks quite literally like a child designed it in Roblox. Roblox house building.
I love you. I am the gay man, and I love you.
And I love you, Herschel. I love you too. We are arguing about brutalism. I hate it. Chat apparently loves it. We'll figure it out. I'm re-educating chat is what is going to happen.
About chalk and cheese, even though the elephants have now moved out of London Zoo, at the time of its completion it was hailed as a huge success for its design and was described as marvellously expressive of its inhabitant. The materiality of the concrete is meant to resemble the rough hide of an elephant's backside, and is actually strong enough to withstand them rubbing against it. Now, of course, the intended inhabitants of most brutalist structures weren't elephants, they were, in fact, humans. And Erno Goldfinger, the designer of Balfron Tower, here in Poplar, East London, wanted it to be the shining beacon of...
Please write this time. Thank you. Thank you. Because functionalism? Fuck functionalism. Because capitalism. Because it's cheap. It's literally cheap.
brutalist housing. Local families were rehoused into the tower by Street in an attempt to make it as social as possible and retain the fabric of community within his Streets in the Sky concept with walkways connecting the different flats. In 1996, the building was Grade 2 listed, and then later it was sold and renovated in 2011. This shift from...
What? This is cool? This is cool. This is just like a dormitory that a university threw up real quick. Like, literally,
and then later it was sold and renovated in 2011. This shift from public to private ownership pushed out Goldfinger's
It's so fucking
original intended tenant.
I don't even like minimalism. Based.
And wealthy buyers moved in. Unfortunately, like so many social housing schemes,
Socialism is not one concrete and no possessions. It's not. Like, I reject that wholeheartedly. That's bullshit.
gentrification had taken its toll. Although there was only 5 years between their completion, Robin Hood Gardens by Alison and Peter Smithson has met a very different fate.
Opening in 1972, like Balfron Tower, Robin Hood Gardens featured elevated walkways to create
Thomas gets it. Literally understands me. Okay? Thank you.
a sense of community between the flats. A grassy hill between the two buildings was a space for children to play and for families to meet. Despite campaigns by residents, housing groups and architects to preserve the building,
Its demolition started in 2017. By the 1980s, the novelty of brutalist architecture had worn off. Many of the buildings were in disrepair, and governments were very reluctant to spend money on social housing. Brutalism became seen as this cold, unemotional, uninspiring, imposing lump of concrete in the city.
the original design of the Unité de Habitation had a rooftop pool, an in-house school,
Anglo, don't you dare. Don't make me fucking time you out. What the fuck? When did I say that?
It was meant to embody a new future for everyone. This has been somewhat lost in translation over the last 50 years.
Ultimately, water was the downfall of brutalism, aging and destroying the concrete, hauling on flat roofs and staining the facades at an extreme rate. When a building is more or less one hunk of concrete, it's a very expensive task to revive them when they're falling apart.
The buildings designed by Le Corbusier for the climate
Literally not meant to last.
of southern France didn't fare so well in London's notoriously bad weather.
Brutalism was so short in its existence, it would feel almost like a dream if the buildings weren't here to confirm that it was real. Architecture at the cutting edge of its style has always been questioned by traditionalists. Gothic architecture was despised by the Roman Renaissance writers that named it. They named it after the Goths who destroyed the Roman Empire. Now, Gothic churches are loved throughout the world.
Destroyed the Roman Empire. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I wonder why we love this architecture.
Will brutalism be having a similar revival of opinions? Films like Dune and Blade Runner
No.
2049
Absolutely not. I don't want that. I'm sorry, if you watch Dune, you want that. I don't know if we are on the same page, man. It's like bad, right? That would be like not good.
use brutalism as a backdrop to show the future of humanity, whereas on the other hand, Balfour Tower is used in 28 Days Later to show the zombie apocalypse. Not quite as glamorous. So, do you go crazy for concrete? Are you a brutalist babe like me? Or are you a high-rise hater? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.
Man, I feel like you just kind of fucking made my point for me. Like, literally, if you want what the Empire built, like, it's probably not great.
We're here, live, finding the beauty in the austere. Flying in the crow's nest, over. Oh, I'm out of breath.
Yeah. It really is like austerity if it was an architectural style. I'll have to agree to disagree. I hope this doesn't divide us as leftists, you know. I hope you can forgive me or something. I don't know. Literally canceled. We're still brutalism posting? Sure. Yeah, this might as well be brutalism. Just devastation. Rocks. I hate it so much. This is not a new hatred. Gaudi posting. No, we're fucking talking. Let's fucking go. Now that's architecture. Now that's what I call architecture. The craftsmanship, the design, the intricacy, the attention to detail. It's so much better. It's so much better. It's so beautiful. Are you kidding? Yeah, all the color, the light. The light is literally like designed with color in it. Like stained glass is so fucking OP. It's so beautiful. Build me that in Roblox. Okay? Oh my god. The whimsy. The whimsy. If you don't enjoy this, then you don't enjoy life. You know what I mean? You're too straight for the stream if you don't like this. I'm kidding. But I do love this. You know? It should make you feel something other than fucking despair. You know what? Yes, I am saying brutalism is homophobic. Yeah, yes. Hundertwasser. Hundertwasser. There you go. I like it. Picasso, I like it. This makes me a little nervous, architecture-wise. It looks a little bit like it's sinking, but I'm sure it's not. It's just fun. You should have fun.